Hey everybody, welcome to a moment of clarity, viewer questions. I'm going to go through some of your questions or comments that you have left on the past episodes or emailed to me. You can email leecampledger@protonmail.com if you either want to add a question or if you win the free download of the comedy special, which I'll be announcing the winners here at the end of this episode. Anybody who puts a comment under this or any of the videos is entered to win a free download. That comedy special, by the way, leecampcomedyspecial.com. Okay, let's get to a couple of these questions/comments. This is from the 6483. I thought, for a minute there, I thought you were my old friend, the 6482, but now your name sounded alike. I thought you were, I went to high school with the 6482, so, but anyway, I don't know if you know him. I don't know, maybe he's a cousin or something. Anyway, Lee, have you ever spoken to Catherine Austin Fitts about the swindling of trillions out of the U.S. to the benefit of bankers and military-industrial complex? How dare you not watch every episode of my shit? I have talked about Catherine Austin Fitts. I have quoted from her. I think I even corresponded with her about having her on the show, but she lives in the middle of nowhere. Although that could just be a city I don't know very well. And so I'm like, you're in the middle of nowhere. But for Redacted Tonight, we only tape via satellite studios. So you've got to be in like a city that's got more than 12 people. Or maybe I'm misremembering and it was some other reason. But anyway. Yes, I know of her work. She used to have a position in the, I believe, housing and urban development portion of government, that chunk of government, and she helped reveal the $21 trillion of unaccounted for adjustments at the Pentagon, and the housing and urban development offices, which that number is fucking insane. I mean, honestly, if I could, and I've repeated it, I've written articles about it, I wrote for Truthdig about it, I've done Redacted Nights about it, I've done Redacted Nights about the whistleblowers who have come forward to try and say, hey, there's trillions of dollars going on accounted for, and I keep doing it, and honestly, if I could film an episode that was 20 minutes long or 2 hours long, and it was just me going, yeah, $21 trillion, I would do it, but I feel like people wouldn't really watch to the end, but because it deserves that much. It deserves at least, it deserves 21 trillion hours of someone going, what the fuck? Because it is an insane amount of money. And so I know she's familiar with the segments I've done. And anyway, she is the one who helped reveal it. And I'm glad she came forward about it. And those are, even though she helped reveal it, that's not her saying that. These are the Pentagon's own books. You can go and, well, they tried to redact a lot of them, but people had already gotten the public versions. You can go and look at the Pentagon's own books and see like billions of dollars going unaccounted for left and right. Just plugs, adjustments being made because they fucking don't know. They don't know. They don't know where the goddamn money's going, and they don't care. The military-industrial complex is a giant money laundering scheme to just fucking take your tax dollars and swish them around and give them to Lockheed Martin and Raytheon and a bunch of other awful motherfuckers, and they don't care about whether they have the receipts. And, did you tally it up? They don't. They failed their audit. They literally, the Pentagon finally, after 20 years or more of putting it off, said, all right, we're doing the audit that we were legally obligated to do back in 1996 or something. We're doing the audit, and they did it, and the auditor, 1,000 auditors, working night and day, came forward and said, we've done the audit. Here's what we found. We couldn't do the audit. Yeah, totally failed. Just couldn't. We have no idea where the money's going. Literally, the Pentagon came forward and said, we failed the audit. We don't know. And their excuse, which, check out this excuse. This goes down for great excuses of all times. They said, don't worry, though. We expected to fail the audit. What did you just say? They're fucking criminals. All right. Why? The 6483, did you really have to get me that angry? G-Dog 2K2. Oh, I thought you were gonna. I thought it was my friend G-Dog 2K1. All right, that joke's old. G-Dog 2K2 says, hey, what the fuck? Why is YouTube polling me on? So he's saying YouTube gave him a poll that said, is Gray Zone and this show, Gray Zone is a great journalism outlet. You should all check it out, thegrayzone.com, created by Max Blumenthal. It's got Aaron Mate there, Ben Norton, Anya Parampil, great people over there. Is Gray Zone and this show acceptable? Do I want to see such shows, and if so, why? So, basically, he's saying he or she, G-Dog, could be a she. It's spelled D-A-W-G. That's the male spelling. Female's different. He's saying that they literally are putting a poll on the screen. I mean, maybe some of you have seen it. That's asking them whether you approve of seeing this show. And I think what YouTube's hoping is that if they get enough negative comments, which could just be trolls, trying to shut me down, trying to shut the Gray Zone down. If they get enough no's or I don't want to see this or whatever, they'll just stop showing to people, which they've already begun doing, right? They've already, we basically, an average YouTube video when it does well, like ours do when they're first put up, then gets recommended to a lot of people. Well, YouTube has stopped recommending it nearly as much. So, occasionally maybe it will, but for the most part, YouTube will not recommend us, which means you are only being seen by like hardcore fans. And it's to help make sure we don't grow, to help make sure other people don't find us, that friends of friends don't find us. And, it works in a sense, as much as I'd like to think that, we're just so amazing. Redacted Tonight is so amazing that it's just a fucking virus you can't stop. Doesn't matter what kind of ointment you rub on it, Redacted Tonight just keeps spreading. But no, you stop recommending it to people. You stop showing it to people that hadn't heard of it before. You decrease the virality. So I assume this poll is to help them try and crush both the Gray Zone and my show, Redacted. This is Ben, and he's referring to the last episode of my podcast, Common Censored. If you haven't taken a listen to that, please check it out. It's called Common Censored. It's free on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, and on YouTube. And I do it with Eleanor Goldfield. Ben says, hey, Lee, I'm trying to encourage a switch from climate change deniers, quote unquote, to pro-smog activists and pull the wind from their sails. I totally agree that climate deniers is not the greatest terminology, because terminology does matter. It influences people very heavily to have certain terms used certain ways. And there's a million great examples of our euphemisms, right? The Pentagon said 98% of drone bombings kill secondary targets, right? Secondary targets. That's their way of saying innocent fucking civilians. But they don't say innocent fucking civilians because people get upset about that. So they say secondary targets. So it's that kind of shit of, covering stuff up, making it a little lighter. Climate change deniers is not too bad. It's not saying warmer world advocates or something positive. But I agree, it should be worse. It should be, anti-science is probably a good, accurate one. Climate, anti-truth fuckheads. Can we just, anti-truth fuckheads? Can we go with that? Anyway, good point, Ben. So here are the winners for my comedy special. It is Steely Steve and Reese Torod. You won the free comedy special. To get that, to collect that download, go to Lee Camp Ledger or email LeeCampLedger at protonmail.com. Let us know you are the winner, and we will send that to you. Also, I've started. We're trying out posting a few live the live kind of stand up I do before we actually tape Redacted Tonight, and you'll see some of those coming out soon if they're not out already, and you can watch that on youtube.com/Moment of Clarity Show or youtube.com/Redacted Tonight. I heavily advise you subscribe to both channels because Redacted Tonight gets suppressed a lot. Moment of Clarity Show a little less suppressed. So please click subscribe and then click the fucking bell, because that's the only way they'll tell you about shit. And sign up to my email list. You can text the word redacted to 444-999. If you're inside the U.S., it's free. Just type redacted, 444-999. Or you can sign up at leecamp.com right there on the sidebar. All right, that's what I have. Thank you all for listening and watching. And keep up the fight out there. Also known as keep fighting.